Is now the best time to sell your property? Hi, Karen Worley, Eves Bay of Plenty General Manager, and today I am with Gill Bowden from Eves Mount and Gordon Stewart from Eves Cherrywood, and they're here to talk about the year that's been and also the year coming up and some predictions. So 2021 been an amazing year. Who would have thought, right?
Exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah. And so Gill, what have you seen during the year?
Well, out of the bag, interesting, we couldn't have predicted a lot of the things that did happen. Our teams have had to really roll with the punches this year and be quite nimble in their business. So I think one of the biggest things, of course, was the lockdown and the Auckland buyer market that often comes into our patch. We didn't see that. So we've had to look at different ways of doing business to try and make up the shortfall or try and reach those Auckland buyers in a different way, which has been really challenging.
It has indeed. We've seen prices go through the roof in many areas as well, but stock became very limited, didn't it?
Absolutely. First half of the year, we were scrabbling around just trying to get enough stock for 3 or 4 weeks of business.
And there were many people that wouldn't sell because they had nowhere to go, so there was a real risk that they were going to be homeless if they did come to the market. But of course, the borders have opened again now. Gordon, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, well, I looked at the people that I know that are coming down here, and already we've been doing sales to Aucklanders who haven't even seen properties. So my prediction is that, and I'm working right through, as Gill is, over the Christmas break. So we'll be looking after potential buyers, and I believe that this year, because normally over Christmas time it is reasonably quiet, but I believe that this year we'll be seeing more numbers who will be looking for a property instead of perhaps being on the beach.
You're right, Gordon. We have been seeing a lot of Auckland activity anyway when you talked about people buying sight unseen, so we don't anticipate that that's going to drop off at all. But the market is changing slightly, isn't it?
We're definitely seeing some changes over in the Mountain Papamoa coastal strip. We're seeing fewer numbers at open homes, which is really quite obvious, particularly in the past month. And we're finding that, come auction day, we're having to do a lot more negotiation to get the property sold. And there's a little bit of a disconnect sometimes between vendors' expectations and what the buyers see in terms of value. So definitely a little bit of a trend that I'm seeing in terms of the market just normalising a bit. Normalising,
that's a great word. What about you, Gordon?
Yeah, it's exactly the same on our side. In fact, I've seen that it's probably come a week earlier, because normally over the Christmas break it does quieten right off. This is normal for December. You can overlay graphs every year and it looks the same. However, this year it's kind of been a week earlier. Our open homes have dropped off quite dramatically, really, which shows to me that the buyers are sort of just pulling back a bit. They're taking time out for Christmas, but I believe that will pick up again pretty early in January, and people will just want to get on with it and look for something, especially the first home buyers.
And it's quite interesting though, one thing that has helped to change the market has been the amount of stock coming on.
Yes.
And we've seen during November, I think the best November in terms of listings that since
Exactly.
We've been monitoring over the last 8 or 9 years. So that certainly is making a difference. Buyers have far more choice, and so vendors have had to become far more realistic with what they're going to take. And I think media have helped hype up prices over the last year, but also now it just needs to settle down to normality, right?
I agree, Karen, and I think that vendors or prospective vendors need to just be mindful of that and not be trying to second guess the market, because I think there is no better time than right now. And from what I'm seeing, I'm certainly anticipating that things might just stabilise a little bit, and if you're going to sell your property, there's no better time than to do it right now.
But I also feel that there is quite a strong market out there who believe that the market is going down, okay? But my prediction is that by the end of January, because keep in mind, we've got 20,000 people from the 17th of January, New Zealanders, Kiwis overseas, who are wanting to fly back into the country. 20,000 people. They're all going to need a home. Most of them will need a home.
You're right.
So I believe that the market will pick up from where it has been, and it will move away again. I think there are these ones, as I said, that are hoping it's going down, but it may be momentarily, but I think it will continue to rise as we get into especially February, March, which are always the key selling months of the year.
So this is the thing I love about real estate, right? Right when we think things might slow, some factor comes into play that pushes the market off again, or the other way around. So, I mean, we who are very experienced, all of us, very experienced in real estate, can't actually predict what's going to happen next year, right? And just recently I said there's nothing more certain right now for 2022 than uncertainty. Nothing more certain than uncertainty. So I'm looking forward certainly to 2022 and to roll with the punches as we go, and I'm sure all of our salespeople are as well. Guys, I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. I know you're working through, and thank you for that. It will be a busy market, I'm absolutely sure of that. To all of you, thank you so much for your business during 2021. We wish you a happy new year and look forward to working with you again in 2022. Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas, everyone.